Hey guys, this is the Blue 7 with an introduction to Evergale, the god of water and peace. Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back, 7867, all that. So, I heard that Dota was doing I heard that Dota Cinema was doing a new mod, actually. A mod that can allow you to make your own heroes. You gotta submit your ideas. And so I've been thinking over, and as I've been saying, I really love supports. And so, with Evergale, I made what I think to be one of my most ideal supports. So, hope you enjoy this little introduction, and let's get on with the facts. So, Evergale, the god of water and peace. I don't have images yet. I'll work on them later. I am getting them soon, and I will give credit to their artists. But she's a support who is a melee support, actually, and a lane support. That's really all she has to him. Not much in durability or escape. Well, technically, it is some escape. Let's keep going. As again, I also am using dotaconcept.com. I will put the link down to my hero in the description. But, as we go down, all these things, if you want to pause them for the dotaconcepts.com, I'll just go ahead and do anything here. But until then, let's go. So, a summary. Evergale is a melee support hero who is based on water and affecting teammates based on water. That seems very general. Just know this. She heals a lot, and she helps slow a little bit. So, let's get on to the actual overview. So, over here we have her first ability, Sacred Waters. Evergale channels her water's healing properties, healing target ally in a short range. While channeling, target ally can move, but if out of range, channel is cancelled. Meaning that in this short range, Evergale can only heal whenever the ally is within her range. The ally can move as long as it's within the range, but if Evergale moves, it breaks the channel, or if the other person walks out, then the channel is cancelled. You can target, this includes water in the river and water caused by your other abilities. I'll get to that later. So, you can target, this includes water in the river and water caused by your other abilities. I'll get to your other abilities later, but for right now, you can target water. As in, whenever targeted, Evergale will move to target location and begin channeling. So you can click the river, and she'll begin channeling in the river. But, what does that do? Now Sacred Waters affects all allies in that whole body of water. Meaning, if you have a team fight that's going on in the river, and you're all the way on the mouth of the river, you could just activate this ability and you heal all allies with your ability instead of just a small radius of one ally. Now this is really good because, it's really easy to heal your allies from a distance, and it's always good to have a heal as a support. Now, sad thing is, if they walk out of the water, they are not affected by this anymore. But it does not cancel your channeling, at least, so that's good. And, as I said, you can target other water abilities. But let's get on to the next one. Now we go to Renew. Let me just scroll down a bit really here. Now we go to Renew, Evergale's second ability. Evergale uses her ties to the waters of the Ancient to amplify its effects. While under the effects of the fountain, shrine, or any bottle activated near you, its effects are increased. After an amount of time, Evergale will passively restore one bottle charge to all allies in its radius. So basically think of this. Evergale is a water support hero, so the fountain, bottle, and the shrine are all water. So, if an ally is within this passive's radius, they now gain amplified effects of the fountain, fountain, shrine, or bottle. So that's really good for if your base is being attacked and you need to heal fast in the fountain. If Evergale's in the fountain with you, or you're in the radius of the fountain, you're going to be healing faster to get out there. Or if you're activating a shrine, it'll really help during a big team fight near the shrine. And after a set amount of time, Evergale will passively restore one bottle charge to all allies in the same radius. You might think that's a little bit broken, it's actually not. Or some people may think that's complete shit. Well, I want to keep going on to go to the next one. And don't worry, I'll explain this whenever we get to the stats. We move on to Evergale's third ability, Holy Torrent. Evergale summons a small torrent in an area. Enemy caught in this torrent are slowed and revealed to all allies. All enemies in the torrent gain a Trail of Water debuff for duration, keeping them under the effects of Holy Torrent. If any enemies walk into the river or torrent while under the effects of Holy Torrent, have the Trail debuff refreshed. This ability counts as a body of water for Sacred Waters. So think of it this way. She places down a small AoE of water, and all enemies caught in it are slowed and revealed to all allies, which is great. But they also have a debuff that is affected on them, and it's constantly refreshed as long as they're in that circle. Granted, the circle will disappear after a short time. And what happens is they'll leave a trail of water. Think of like Spectre's dagger. They leave a trail behind them. And what happens is, well, if they walk into the river or go run back into the torrent while they have this trail, their trail debuff is refreshed. So whenever they're caught, you kind of have to stay on dry land. Now, here's the thing. It's said that this counts as a body of water for Sacred Waters. This was what I was talking about. With Sacred Waters, you can activate your ability even when you're in a body of water, and it will begin to affect all allies within that body of water. Well, the water caused by torrent and its trail count as one body of water, and if the trail connects to the river and the trail count as one body of water. So you better hope that an enemy connects the two. Meaning that as the enemy's running with the trail, they're revealed to you, and you can start healing based on if allies are walking on your trail or not. If they're not walking on your trail, then it's useless. But hey, if allies are fighting on that trail, go ahead and activate that heal. Let's move on to the next ability, shall we? We have Sacred Gift, Evergale's ultimate ability. Evergale channels her water's healing powers, enchanting her allies in a radius, with lifesteal and spell vamp for its duration, non-stackable. Upgradable with Aghanim Scepter, making Sacred Gift global and decreases its cooldown. So basically, in an AoE, all allies within this AoE, while she's channeling, all allies within her radius now have increased lifesteal and spell vamp. And if you don't know what spell vamp is, it's basically lifesteal for spells. So imagine Zeus lifestealing after he ults everybody, but only if Zeus is in his radius. Now, it is not stackable with other sources, meaning it will not stack with Morbid Mask, Wraith King's lifesteal, or anything of that nature. Alright, I'm going to be moving on to the next step. Let's move there. Alright, the bio of Evergale. This is her lore that I wanted to make up, and I think I like it. I think I like it a lot. Let's show you what I've got. Evergale, the god of water and peace, strives to keep everything in balance. It's how it's always been. One day, Evergale felt the presence of dark forces in her waters. When she investigated, she found the carnage of broken ships, deceased people, and the feeling of a mighty force was summoned here without her permission. In the distance, she sees shambles of a city. She goes to see if they know the answers to her questions. When entered, little to no people are found, and the ones that are found won't live long. Evergale quickly heals all people in the city and repairs the spiritual damage to the waters. The people, so thankful to her, tell her that the great battle was fought here and lost there. A mass of tentacles ravaged their fleet. Raged in the fact that magic was used in her waters without her permission, she quickly asks where she can meditate. In a quiet spot, she sees death and life fighting for their cause, and strong forces that rival her own power. Confused, she wonders how to get to this place, until she sees the river she was born in, dividing the two forces. Evergale gets up and prepares to fight, because no one but herself controls the waters, and no one ever will. So, that in effect is she found a city in shambles after a great battle and an evil force was summoned, and she healed everyone there, repaired the spiritual damage, and she meditated on where to find this place, and she was shocked by what she found. But now that she knows, well, what's going on, she knows that there's a bigger picture here than just someone doing something without her permission. So she goes to join herself and assert her dominance as the ruler of the waters. And she'll even meet the person who summoned something without her permission, and she's going to set something straight. Alright, that's her bio. I really like it. Hope that was good. Let's move on to the next thing, shall we? I think it is the stats now. Alright, so this is the stat part of it. So you remember Sacred Waters, where she heals allies or heals the body of water she's in. And as you can see right here, it's the same thing I have here, but its mana cost is 80, 90, 120 scaling with 15 cooldown. 15 second cooldown, not too hard, you know? And given its heal. So, what does it do? Oh, this ability pierces spell immunity for her allies, and her heal per second is 20, 30, 40, and 50 scaling. And how long does she channel this ability for? She can channel this ability for 10 seconds. So at level 1, it has a full heal of, I believe, 200 health. At level 3, it has, well, I'm going to let you do the math. But at max level, her heal per second is 500. The radius of this ability is 175 whenever she's not in water. So you can see how this is kind of a really short radius, you know? It's, yeesh. We move on to the next ability, Renew. Remember, this is the one where she affects the shrines and fountains. As you can see here, the fountain increase percentage. Whenever you're inside the radius of her ability, you gain at level 1 a 20% increase in fountain heal and mana per second, a 30%, 40, and 50%. So you can see that you can get back into fights quicker with the fountain. The same goes for the bottle and the shrine. And some people might be thinking, well, what about all the numbers? I don't know much about numbers. If this does get accepted into Dota Cinema, I believe I remember hearing them say that numbers aren't the thing they're looking for. It's the concept. So I really hope that they like this concept. Its range of this ability is 1000, meaning that it's a pretty decent radius. And not really much to do with it other than just amplify healing effects. It's very situational, and some might even argue useless as time goes on. Bottle refill timer. Now as you upgrade this ability, this is how many seconds need to pass before one charge is restored to your bottle. So you can see how at level 4, one charge per 30 seconds, that's pretty dang useful. So, you know, that's pretty cool for, well, Renew. I like it. Let's move on to the next ability, shall we? Holy Torrent. So you remember this one where it reveals all reveals all enemies caught in it? The radius of Torrent initially is 300. So it's a pretty small radius. Does it pierce spell immunity? No, it does not. Torrent duration. The torrent lasts 3 seconds. So it's not going to be on there for long. And like I said, if they walk in and out, the trail duration is refreshed. And keep in mind, how the heck are they going to walk in and out of that for 3 seconds? Like, they really have to be in a panic. But trail duration. This is the trail of water that they leave behind. As you level it up, the trail lasts 5, 6, 7, and 8 seconds. Now, what you're wondering, what's its slow? Its slow is 5, 10, and 15% of their total movement speed. So, not too bad of an ability, and this is how the ability works if you're still kind of confused. You're going to cast Torrent, and then if an enemy walks in it, they have the trail duration debuff on it. And for 5 seconds, they're going to leave a trail of water. But if they walk in the river, those 5 seconds are now refreshed. And so it's really going to suck if they're just like constantly in the river, then they're just going to be constantly revealed. And not to mention, their movement speed is still slowed. Keep that in mind. Next, we have Sacred Gift, her ultimate of the lifesteal. Now, as you can see, it has a high mana cost. And if I didn't go up here, this has a pretty high mana cost. And its cooldown is 20. But if we go to this mana cost, it's pretty dang expensive. And its cooldown is pretty dang high. Now, why is it that high? Look at this. Lifesteal. 50, 60, then 70%. And remember, this counts for spells too. Meaning, when you're in this radius, you're going to be having a hard time dying. Yeah, and at max level 70%. Imagine Sven in full rage form, just pounding on people. No matter how hard you're going to try killing them, it's not going to work. Does this pierce spell immunity? Yes, it does. How long does it last? It lasts 6, 7, and 8 seconds as you're channeling. Remember, this is a channel. You can be stunned. Its radius is 1,100 without Aghanim Scepter. And the cooldown with Aghanim Scepter is 110, 90, and 70. And if you want to look up, the cooldown up here is 160, 150, 140. So Aghanim Scepter really helps making it global and lowering its cooldown. And yeesh, and if you make it global, you're able to just pop it in the fountain where you're invisible or something. Yeah, that's pretty good. And again, the numbers, don't look at the numbers, look at the concept. It's going to be pretty good, I can tell. Let's move on to the next step, shall we? The talent tree. Alright, so let's start with the level 10 talents. At level 10, you can have 10 mana regen per second, or plus 2 mana regen, or plus 2 health regen per second. You know, pretty good talents, you know. At level 15, this is one where you will have to look at the numbers. Well, not the numbers, but its concept, because I really want this. Level 15, plus 20% movement speed in the river, or invisibility in the river. I like this ability because she's not a carry. No matter how hard you try, she's not going to be able to beat the crap out of somebody. And I was going to put this into other abilities, but I feel like making it a talent's a lot better. So, that's a tough one to choose between, because 20% extra movement speed, that's pretty dang fast. You can run away from a lot of people. Or just straight up turn invisible when they can counter you with dust. So it's up to you. Level 20, plus 300 radius on Holy Torrent, making it a bit harder to dodge. Or 120 gold per minute. I like that talent. Or once you get to level 25, this is one I like. 25% cooldown reduction, further lowering the cooldown of all your skills. Or, when in river, reveal all invisible units. So even if you don't have sight of them, if a Ricky is on the opposite side of the river as you, and you're in the river, you just, guys, I see a Ricky. Ricky, he's heading this way. Now, down here there is a note. Invisibility in the river has a 0.5 second cooldown. Well, a delay, really. And so, this one's really up to you on what you want. You could choose to do something or something else. It really doesn't matter what you want to do. But I like this, and if the numbers are a bit broken, I really hope they can fix it. Last, I don't know how much is really good with strength and agility and all that stuff. I'm kind of going based on this little area right here. I know that she can see standardly. I know that she can attack at melee range. I don't know why that's there. And I don't know why missile speed's there. She's a melee support. And I'm kind of going based on these stats. I really don't know. All I know is that I want her to be an intelligence hero. And really, with all that, that's it. Ignore these stats as I don't know how to fix them. But I feel like that should be it for the day. So, I have a note here. Any people from Dota Cinema, if you are watching this, please consider my hero. And if you are considering it, don't look at the numbers. This is a good concept, I know it. It's a good support with lots of utility. And even though her abilities may seem overpowered, they're really not in the long run. The only thing that may be a bit harmful is that lifesteal ultimate, but it has to be channeled. I feel she's pretty balanced. And that concludes my video for Dota Cinema. I'm going to be posting this. If any of you guys out there know anybody from Dota Cinema or know a way to share this to Dota Cinema, go ahead and please do. This is one of the reasons why I haven't been uploading recently. It's because I've been working on this. And I really hope that I can get this right the first time. So, that should be it. If you guys want to come to my little hero here, I'll put the link up. I'll put the link up in the description. And I'll even put the link up in the Dota Cinema Reddit, where they upload their heroes. Well, from what I believe, they upload their heroes. If you guys find a way to contact Dota Cinema, please, by all means, do. I'll also put a link to Dota Cinema's YouTube channel down in the description. But that should be all. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, be sure to like, please share it, and subscribe. And one note, any copyright of this hero I will find. Do not copyright this hero. This is mine. I have video evidence that this is mine. But 7867. See you in the next video.